Dave. What's happening?
Not much. Not much. Just enjoying these playoffs here.
All
Big
right.
game tonight.
Yep. Welcome to Nephew and Uncle Basketball Banter, folks. Uncle Dave, where do you want to get started here in this playoff picture?
Well, we could start with either tonight or the games from last night or where each
Yeah,
series is. We
let's start with some of these game. Yeah, we'll start with these game twos here before we give our predictions for what happens here tonight and moving forward for the rest of the week here. But I guess we'll start with this Cavaliers and Heat series here.
yeah.
And it's hysterical. I don't know if you see Uncle Dave on social media making the rounds. Kenny Atkinson, people said he was a little zesty and snazzy there with the challenge there. Kind of called the time. He gives the signal to the ref right in his face. So that
Oh,
was
Kenny was always a fierce competitor. That's
it's
why I
funny
loved
too
him.
because folks, me and my uncle, we've met Kenny Atkinson personally through our
Yeah.
basketball journey. So it's seeing him do well is really
Yeah.
cool.
And was doing well with the Nets and they hosed him. So we're really happy for Kenny Atkinson. Still the best dribble lecture I've ever seen. I've been in a million camps.
No question. Pouring sweat
Um,
too. Pouring sweat
yep.
by the end of it too.
And just a great player. I watched him do so many great things in college as a player, and just really fun to watch. Great player all the way.
So the Cavaliers, Uncle Dave, in both games score 121 points.
Very
And,
unusual.
yeah,
The Heat are willing, and Tyler Hero is making himself a boatload of money if it was the right year.
yes.
But you could see the Heat does have a culture. Devion Mitchell has really stepped up. I just didn't like the fifth player on the floor for the Heat last night. I thought there were better options than Novik on the floor right there. He took that last shot. He's just
Yeah.
they're willing. It's just not there. And the Heat,
They're just missing a bona fide true star. I mean,
yeah, I
truthfully.
mean they're not as good, they're not as athletic, they're not as big, they're not as strong. I mean, they're there. I mean, that game is in doubt last night. You got to
Who
give
needs to
them
play
credit.
better for them is Wiggins. You need more 3 of 10. You need
Sure,
more
and
Mike
Wiggins last night's running
Steph.
an ISO and shooting a step back. That's not Wiggins. Wiggins is
Yeah.
a guy from mid-range and athleticism, but
Right.
I tell you what, that team is not far away. I know it's a successful year, although today I was reading about how they cost themselves the 14th pick, as if they had lost in the play-in tournament, they would have got to keep their pick. But this year, since they made the playoffs, they don't get to keep their pick. So Miami Heat fans have been bitching about, well, maybe it's not a successful year then because we did lose our pick.
Right.
So it's half dozen of one, six of another. So what do you say about
It's a
that?
tough situation.
I don't know.
You don't want to pass up a playoff berth, but I also understand the other side of the
Sure.
coin on that. But
Especially this time of year, I think there's a deep enough draft where you might be able to get something at 14. I'm feeling that there are some good players in there at 14. I mean, we could all be wrong. I mean, we've seen first round picks be great. We've seen first round picks be bust. We've seen the first pick in the draft be a bust. So, we understand all the sides, but I really give Miami a lot of credit. Just Cleveland has too much, but Miami had a chance in that game last night. That's a real chance last night. They were a live dog in that game. And you could see that Spoelstra has their attention. If they could just get a little better play out of it, Bam's numbers have been a little low. That's because of the two jumping beans in the middle for Cleveland. But and obviously Cleveland's got two Wahoos there. He's got Bowman. We also got Deshaun Hunter. So
it makes you wonder though why a guy Uncle Dave like Kyle Anderson, maybe throw him out there and see what he can do for you.
was he not?
He says I looking at their score sheet here. You got him just as the DNP coach's decision here,
Yeah,
but
he's the guy that can really shoot. I remember his foot speed was very limited,
and
but
and Kevin Love is not with the team due to personal reasons. So I wonder
yeah,
what's going on. Obviously maybe you could use him for a couple minutes. And Hami
yeah, Kevin
Hockett,
Love did make some contributions down a stretch. So who knows? I mean, right now they still got Thompson on the team, who I still believe could make contributions. That's just me though, thinking
yeah,
that probably. But it's tough. It's one of those situations where I don't know. I just feel like the Heat's overmatched, but I am proud of the effort they've given. But the Cavs
yeah,
do look legit.
they do,
I
they
would
do.
say though that the Cavs, if the Pacers get through, which I anticipate, this Cavs Pacers series will be World War III, and I am looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I think it's basically the inevitable here. I think the Heat, they're going to battle. They're going to definitely,
Yeah,
play well and play the right way. But obviously,
they can do all the right things.
Cleveland is just going to. It could be a gentleman's sweep too. You could have maybe
Yes,
Miami dealing a game, but
yes,
I think obviously, we expect and Cleveland will
yeah,
wrap this thing up sooner rather
yes,
than later. But I guess
yeah.
Uncle Dave will transition since you mentioned the Pacers there. We'll see this Pacers Buck series. It's honestly. it's kind of funny in a way because the Bucks, you could argue, have the two most talented players in the series, and Giannis
Yeah,
Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard, but yet the Bucks are up
yeah.
to nothing, which goes to show you
Well,
it's a team game here.
interesting strategy by Coach Carlisle, who's one of our favorites.
Yes, he
Also,
is.
a great coach. I believe in him. He's a tough player, good college player at Virginia. Also, a very tough player with the 86, 80 Celtics teams.
People have to understand too. He won with that 2011 Dallas Mavericks team against
Yeah,
the.
and he played an offense called flow, which something I really believe in. Just teaches you a couple of principles and lets the players make decisions. And I really believe that in that kind of offense because it's hard to scout. It's not really a set pattern. It's just a couple of rules, and you can't really scout that kind of offense. That's why motion offense is tough to scout. But what they're doing is they're letting Giannis have his. Although Giannis the other night did have 7 assists, Giannis is earning his money. They're trying to put up a wall. He's too good to wall off, but they know on the ball screens at the 3-point line they can go under. That's not his biggest threat. He's shooting a little bit over 50% from the foul line, so they're making him
That's the
work
thing.
hard.
His free throws. Yeah, he can kind of
Yeah,
go
but,
hot
but
and cold
here's
with
the
them. Yeah.
but I believe the pace of the Pacers is just too much for the Bucks. This is not a young Bucks team anymore. Pacers are more athletic. Uh, the Bucks seem to really drop off after that championship, and I'm going to let this one slip away. I think that Dame Lillard will obviously be better in Game 3, coming off not playing for 2 weeks straight at all, practicing. But if you look right now, I mean, the Bucks are out rebounded him, but the
Yeah, he didn't
Pacers are
have a
getting
good.
9 more assists a game.
Yeah, he didn't have a good night either, Damian Lillard. So I think maybe
No,
go back to Milwaukee and kind of regroup here. You know what they miss, Uncle Dave, on this team? Like a Chris Middleton. They're just missing that really good wing
sure,
guy right now. Kyle Kuzma played better in this game. He was 5 of 10 with 12 points. So he did look obviously he couldn't have
sure.
played any worse, right, than game one. So
Sure.
you
Well, the
know,
funny thing is, the Pacers are getting 7 steals a game, and that's shows you about a little bit of Buck point guard problems.
yes.
Both teams are getting, and the Bucks are also getting 13 turnovers a night, which is a little high. Pacers are shooting 50% for the series, 41% from three. If you're going to shoot 41% from three, you're going to win.
Yeah.
And you're
They're
shooting
also a good,
86%
they're
from the
also a
line.
deep team too, Indiana. They go at least eight
Yes.
deep here. So
He
that
played
that
10
all
guys the other night.
yeah.
86% from the line to the Bucks 68%. And again, they're letting Giannis have his, but they're not letting anybody else get off.
Right.
Portis did finish the game strong the other night. That score wasn't really as close as it was.
Uncle Dave,
But I
in
really,
this game two, they made all of their free throws, 19 and 19.
yeah, I
Unbelievable.
believe Brooke Lopez has fallen off a lot. Like I said, we don't have a healthy Lillard right now.
Yep.
But Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam are just two pros. And I really believe in the old pro approach. The Turner's been around a little while. Siakam obviously has too, but they're guys who are not superstars, but they're close. They're guys that are just really good players.
It's true.
And Miles Turner is a very unselfish player. Always has done what he's been asked. Very quiet,
Yeah,
excellent career.
you've never heard anything in being a locker
No,
room issue or anything
no.
like that. He just kind of
And and they got O'Connell off the bench. You got Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, they bring these guys in off the bench, and the pace doesn't slow down. And Tyrese Halliburton, they didn't have anybody play 40 minutes the other night.
yeah, they kind of remind me of the Thunder. They just keep constant pressure on you. They're able to do
Yeah,
that the
and
whole game.
and Tyrese Halliburton has blossomed. He needs a little more strength. I'd like to see him. Maybe he has gotten stronger. You just can't tell in his body. But this team, I just don't see the Bucks coming back and winning this series unless Dame Lillard,
Just
from
goes
five
off.
years
Right,
ago, comes
right,
back.
right.
And he's did his best the other night. Dame, I give him credit. He's trying to get through. I think the Bucks will probably lose this series in 4 or 5, and then they'll panic and make too many sweeping changes. There's still pieces there that you need to keep a hold of. Obviously, Antetokounmpo and Lillard, you need to keep a
Yeah, I
hold
mean
of, but they're
Lillard. I mean, Giannis is younger than Damian Lillard, but I
yeah,
mean, Lillard's young enough still where you can kind of retool that. If you're a good GM,
yeah,
you have to figure out a
right.
way to retool that thing. But
It all starts with yeah,
who sticks out to me also? Well, they played good in the playoffs last year. Is Andrew Nemhard for the
yep.
Pacers too.
Oh, he's playing great.
He's really looking good as well. So I mean, they're just everybody has the like you said, they're just an all star in their role. Even Obi Toppin looking
Yeah,
good.
Obi Toppin's very good. Kuzma's got to step up. They got to get more out of Connaughton. Torian Prince has been okay in spots,
Yep.
but not getting enough out of him either. So it's very frustrating.
Yep. So I think kind of we're feeling in that series too, like much like the Cavaliers and the Heat, that the Pacers will wrap this up sooner rather than later in that one as
And I
well.
hate to say it, but no Drew Holiday was a bad move.
Yeah, that move looks horrendous now at this point. Now I
Oh
understand why
God.
you made the move to get Damian Lillard. I truly get it, but it's like if you lose too much
Oh.
though on the back end, then it really doesn't do
Oh
it.
God. Yeah.
That's what's happened. Defensively, they've lost their
Sure.
identity completely. They just
Sure.
don't have that anymore.
Sure.
Uncle Dave will switch over to the Boston Celtics and the Orlando Magic here. So the
Sure.
Celtics with no Jason Tatum, we're still able to take care of business and win game
Yeah.
two.
I
Testament to how
thought
good they
last
are.
night might be a chance for the Magic to break through, but obviously not enough scoring on this game. 109 to 100. Again, the Celtics are averaging 13 more points in a series, and that's low for the Celtics. They're beating them on the board too, which is surprising because the one thing the Magic can do is rebound and play defense. But it looks like our boy Banchero's out there a little bit too much like himself. Wagner is still streaky. Like I said, the Celtics out rebounded them by 7 in the series. I'm a little shocked by that. The turnovers are even, but yet the Celtics are getting 4 more steals per game in the series. And from 3-point range, obviously the Celtics haven't even really shot it well yet, and they're still up 2 games to none. And again, look at the Celts here. Drew Holiday does his job. Porzingis got really banged up last night, does his job. Jaylen Brown's not healthy. He's doing his job. They play without Tatum. Tatum had 14 boards in game one. I mean, Wendell Carter's doing a good job for the Magic. But again, no Suggs in the backcourt for the Magic is very harmful to them. They got to go out and get some guards in the offseason. I really like their fight. I would describe the playoffs so far in 3 things. We have 3 really competitive, fun series. We have a couple of blowouts and a couple of jobs, a couple of series where it might be 4-0, but you can respect the effort. And that's the Heat and the Magic right now. I really respect the effort. It's just not there for them right now.
Right. That's a team where if you're like a Kevin Durant, you have to have your eye. We talked about this
Oh my
on the
God,
last
yeah.
show. The Magic or the Heat, that would be, I think, a great fit because they're
Sure.
they're right on the cusp. But you add a guy like that in, and maybe you keep enough of the roster around him, then that could be a scary
Yeah.
looking team.
And Cole Anthony's not playing enough. I don't know
Yeah,
what the hell's
what's
going
going
on
on
there.
with that 5 minutes in this game?
I
With
mean,
like
what the
8
hell are we
what are you
doing
doing?
here?
I don't know what's going on with that,
Tell
especially
this kid,
when
this
he
kid
went
played the point at Carolina. Let him go in
right.
there and try to play the point. He's better than Corey Joseph.
Yeah,
What the
in the
hell are we
play-in
doing?
game that was just a week ago, he looked fantastic in that. He had like
Yeah,
25
it's
points.
just it's pissing me off. I
Yeah,
mean, and
I don't
I'm
understand
not a
that.
Cole Anthony fan. I hate Carolina guys by any means. Jonathan
Right.
Isaac's not playing enough either.
Yeah, what is six
Uh,
minutes for him? I don't know what's going on with some of
and
this.
KCP has been streaky. He's not shooting well yet, and that really they need another guard or two, and this team will be legit for years to come.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Because Franz Wagner and Pablo Banchero look really. I mean, Wendell Carter, even though he's not on top of our most favorite Dukies, he looked good the other night as well.
He
So
did. He has looked good. He's been fighting. I give him
yeah,
credit.
yeah, especially against this. I mean, and I will say this. We just have to talk about this for a second, Dave. No Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown just takes his game to another level and gets 36 for you on 12 of
Well,
19 shooting. Just incredible.
what people have to learn about Jaylen Brown is I know it doesn't come across on the screen, but if you've been on the floor for basketball games, people don't realize how strong he is. So
Yeah, he
last
is.
night, there's a,
He's built like a brick
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
yeah, there's a couple of plays down the stretch last night where, it's like an 8 to 10 point game, and the Magic is sniffing around. Jalen gets the ball about 4 feet in front of the basket, and this guy just bounces off of him.
Right.
I mean, he puts it in. I mean,
Right.
he's
Right.
such an underrated player. And the world is so crazy today that everybody will worry about the all-time argument, but him and Tatum will just go down as Batman and Robin, and maybe they're both Batman or maybe they're both Robin.
Right. Doesn't
But at
so
the
much
same
matter if
time,
you're winning championships. We'll take
yeah,
that.
they're both just disrespected because of the modern day bullshit that we deal with, what are his numbers and all this other
Yeah, and
crap.
they're a little more quiet too. So that kind of
Yeah,
also.
and Tatum grabs 14 rebounds as a small forward. I mean, give me a break. And Brown is out there just punishing
Yeah, he
people.
had a
He's not
double
even
double.
healthy.
He had 10 rebounds and
Yeah, so I
five
mean,
assists. So he does
like I
everything.
said, I really respect the Magic effort. I just don't think it's there right now. If I'm Kevin Durant, I'm definitely sniffing on that.
Yeah.
But then again, if I'm going to go in there, I don't want to be a bitch either.
No, you just have to kind of fit in and
You
play off ball a little bit, and just do what you
Yeah, let
told.
let Paolo get you the ball and let Wagner
Exactly.
get you the ball.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Just play off them a little bit and win
Yep,
the whole thing. So yeah, I think this kind of mirrors Uncle Dave this Cavaliers Heat series a little bit. Obviously, a little
does. I
better,
feel like they're
very
just
much
missing
the same.
something.
Right. Very much the same. And then we'll take it to the other series, Uncle Dave in the Eastern Conference, the Knicks and the Pistons. And I think this one
Sure.
could be a slam out series here, going to 6 or 7 games
Oh,
here.
this is going to be great. This is the game just probably started a couple of minutes ago. I'm really excited about the series, and I have to tell you, I don't know who the hell was watching game two that thought the Knicks got hosed on the whistle. The
Yeah.
contact that was allowed
Right.
against the Pistons were getting assaulted. And meanwhile, Jalen Brunson's falling all over the place. I had to wind up, I was actually sadly happy because the Pistons I thought were getting hosed on the whistle all night. And I tell you what, the Pistons are just more athletic. I mean, Knick fans got to grow up a little bit. Here in New York, you hear the fan all day long. And I hate to say it, if,
Yeah, a
if
little
Carl Anthony
delusional.
Towns, if Carl Anthony Towns gets 11 shots and you know OG gets 10 shots and Jalen's pounding the ball. I'm sorry, that's not good enough. You
No,
got
it's
to be
not.
better than that.
It's not. I think you're a little too Brunson dominant. I think at times here with him holding the
Oh
ball.
God,
I
yeah.
think a little. I think a little bit too much. I think you have to have a little more flow offensively. But this has kind of been the gripe with Thibodeau, a little Uncle Dave, offensively, just not lucrative and creative enough offensively. Great
Sure.
defensive mind, and he was kind of getting an earful listening to some of the fans. They were talking about how they thought, what he did with Karl Anthony Towns, just playing him too much. They think that that's, kind of
Yeah,
he's
but you know what's funny about that? That's always been the narrative. But this year they did a study with Tibbs, and actually he's playing less guys than are healthy. But the problem I have with him this playoff is either Karl Anthony Towns won't go on the block where Tobias is covering him, or they're not putting him on the block. So which
right,
one is it? We're not in that locker room. We don't know.
right.
But how the hell does Karl Anthony Towns get 11 shots?
Yeah, he has to have more than
And
that. You have to
and
have.
and how is Payne not playing?
Yeah, well, but the funny thing is, Uncle Dave, Landry Shamet and Cameron Payne both have had playoff success and both have proven they could get going and get hot and be a
You know
micro
what's funny?
for you. So I don't
He runs
understand
off
that
the court
either.
the other night for a minute, Brunson, and they go on a 6-0 run when he's off the court. Because the
Yeah.
ball moves. I'm not blaming Jalen Brunson, but the
No,
ball has to move.
yeah, it's sticking a little bit too much, Tim. And you mentioned in game one, Uncle Dave, I would throw a guy like PJ Tucker out there, a guy who's a veteran who has a lot of
Absolutely.
experience. Throw him out there and use him. Have him take a few hard fouls. Maybe he can hit a corner three for you. He's
Oh,
proven.
he's going to hit a corner three. I was just going to say that. Cade showed the other day that he might be the best player on the floor already. We know he will be.
Yeah,
But he looked like a man child the other night. He made a couple of behind the back moves in
yeah,
transition. I was like,
yeah.
uh-oh.
Yeah. He looks really good. The funny
And
thing is,
but
Dave, I think was it last year or the season before the Pistons had like 25 consecutive losses, and here they are
sure,
battling for a win in the playoffs
sure.
for
And again, another great coaching job in the NBA. The NBA is full of them right now. I just wish that Coach
yes.
Bickerstaff would be a little quicker with the timeouts sometimes. Stewart is out for game 3. Malik Beasley's been a pleasant surprise. Hardaway Jr.'s done some good things. Tobias was excellent. Local guy, so we're happy for him. Dennis Schroeder will hit the biggest shot of the game.
Oh, it's an
Tom
incredible shot, right? Yeah,
Thompson is so athletic. I mean, they're just more athletic than the Knicks, and the fact that they're beating the Knicks on the boards is a little strange. I'd like to see Mitchell Robinson play a little more
right.
for the Knicks, maybe even out that board play and let Karl Anthony Towns hang out around on the perimeter where he seems
Hey, you
to be more
might you might have to
comfortable.
play them both the same time, maybe try something
Yeah,
like that. I agree
yeah,
with you.
because Bridges was 3 for 11. McBride did some good things, but then didn't play a lot. And like I said, Payne wins you game 1, and you don't see the floor. I don't get that.
Yeah. Especially a guy. Look, we you can never have enough big guys, I think, on a team, but you also can never have enough guys who can score and shoot the ball. A guy like Cameron
Oh,
Payne,
never enough guys who can shoot. Never.
he could maybe get you 20 points in a game like this. He
Oh
just
yeah,
he can fill it up and he's unconscious. Now, again, if he gets carried away, you sit his ass down. But four
yeah.
minutes for him is not enough. You got to, I think, at least play him 11, 12 minutes and see if he has a hot hand for you that night.
Got to find out. You got to ring the bell and see what happens. The funny thing is, the biggest stat that's alarming right here is the Pistons are averaging 18 and a half turnovers, and it's still 1-1, and they could have been up 2 games to none.
Exactly. I know. The
So I
Pistons,
mean,
honestly,
I
they
think
could
the
have.
Pistons are going to be good in this series,
Yeah,
though.
The Pistons honestly could have came away with two games in this series here.
Sure, both teams
So
could be up 2-0, but I really feel like the Pistons have been winning most of both games.
cannot wait to see the environment in Detroit and see how the Knicks
Oh, it's going to be
respond to
crazy.
that.
The
Yeah.
Pistons got to be careful tonight. They don't come out and get overhyped because
Yes,
they're at home and like
exactly
lose
right.
track of
That's the
worrying
thing.
about your parents' tickets and crap like that.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to make sure you come out the same energy and enthusiasm that you did on the road here. So that
Yeah,
way
and
you
make sure
don't
you're
get
not worried about tickets and your family. Tell your
that.
family you'll see them in June.
No. Exactly right. The off season, right? In a couple months. All right, Uncle Dave, we'll switch over to the Western Conference here, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll we'll have the Thunder and the Grizzlies here. We'll take care of first here.
So
And
disappointed in the Grizzlies. I
yeah, I
cannot
mean
tell you
the
they need a
worst.
heart transplant.
Right.
They
That
need
game
a
one
heart
was that
transplant.
was unbearable to watch. That game one,
Well,
and
game 2 wasn't much better. They
yeah,
need a heart transplant.
game two, the Grizzlies were never really in it either. Yeah, they just kind of got blown the whole game here too.
I mean, what the hell are we watching? I mean,
Yeah,
Jackson is one of the best 15 players in the freaking NBA. And if everybody thinks Jaws as good as they say it, how the hell did him and Jackson not give a better effort than that?
I know. Yeah, it's kind of
I mean,
disappointing.
I mean, I don't know what to say. The stats are so overwhelming that they're out rebounding them by 12 a game.
Yeah,
They're outscoring them by 35 a game.
and like you said, it's not that even like you could lose a series 4-0 or 4-1 and
And
still
be
be
competitive.
respectable and be competitive. And this one, they just mailed this thing in. I mean, these games are not even competitive. And I understand the Thunder are a very good team defensively; they are excellent
Sure.
and they're well coached. But my God, like you said, if you're John Morant, and you're Jaren Jackson here, you have to say, hey, we cannot go out like
Yeah.
this here.
I mean, how are you shooting 46% for the series and you're only shooting 24% from three in the modern day NBA?
Yeah, you can't do that,
Please tell me you're kidding. I mean, like
especially when you're taking as many as you are.
you're averaging 19 and a half turnovers and you supposedly got one of the best point guards in the NBA in your team.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I like Jai. He's very talented, but when people get on these blogs and they talk about he would dominate the 80s, Isaiah Thomas would shit on him.
yeah, yeah. I think he's a guy. He's an extremely athletic guy, but kind of what people complained about Westbrook is this guy a great decision maker? Does he understand the flow of the game and how to manage a game? I don't know if that's there with him, but I mean, obviously he's an extremely talented player. There's no doubt. But
And
yeah,
again, the
there's just
sub
something
pattern. I'm
very off.
confused. I'm
Yeah,
confused by the sub pattern. You're getting, listen, I've been coaching a long time. You're getting the shit kicked out of you, and Marvin Bagley, Luke Kennard don't sniff the floor. Now they might be in your doghouse, but they're both talented enough where they could go and help you tonight.
yeah. I think
So I mean, like
Luke should be
if you're
getting, I
getting,
think, closer
yeah,
to 30 minutes a
he's
night
one of
rather
the best
than 17. Yeah,
passers in the NBA that no one knows about. He uses his pivot as well as anybody. Scottie Pippen Jr. also. Like if you're getting your ass kicked like they did, you got to find out.
yeah,
I mean, Luke, if you're shooting 26% from three, you don't throw Luke Kennard in there. What are you on crack?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sorry, you fired Jenkins, I believe, right? Didn't you fire Jenkins a couple of
They
weeks
did.
ago?
Yeah, yeah, they did.
I
Yeah,
mean, so
change coaches.
but what have you got here? So I
Right,
mean,
right.
I mean, I'm sorry, but Jaren Jackson's
Especially
one of the
when the game
best.
is as
Yeah,
lopsided as it is, you have to have Kennard in
yeah.
there more or
I mean,
back.
and what
See what these
offense are
guys
you
have.
running that Desmond Bain and John Morant can't get you more than 26% from three with Luke Kennard on your team? Like, how the hell are you only having? I mean, are you getting Desmond Bain any shots because he can shoot it?
Right, and a guy like Ja, he can create. So it's like
Yeah,
you have a
Scottie
guy
Pippen
who's
Jr. does some good things. I mean, like,
yeah,
what the hell is going on? I mean, like, you wonder if it's like a New Jersey Nets situation when Atkinson was there or Nash was there, where the guys were just totally doing their own thing.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
it
a
really makes
talented
you
group, but
wonder.
it's talented group, but it's just dilapidated. I think a little bit. That's what's
Yeah, I
going
mean,
on there. Yeah,
I think it's a free for all over there. I think
it
there's
is.
too many cooks in the kitchen. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right, right, right. Yeah, too many cooks, but yeah, yeah, I agree. It might be a
Very sad. I mean, if they don't come out tonight and just give a better effort, I don't
yeah,
know what the hell to say. Then
right.
I say you break that thing up. You hold on to Jackson. You tell Ja to go pack it. You get a lot for him. Some idiot will take him.
Right, right. Yeah, maybe you could fleece someone. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I
Definitely
think
can
you might
fleece
have
someone.
yeah, I might have a situation where you blow the whole thing up because
Oh, sure.
you're
Let the
good enough
Lakers
to
go take him.
yeah, you're good enough to make the playoffs, but you're not good enough to pass these other teams in the West though. You're not as good as the Clippers or the Nuggets or the or the Timberwolves or the Lakers. You're not as good as any of
Yeah,
those teams. So you're
yeah.
not going to be next year.
But it's not that you're down 2-0. It's that you've shown nothing in your chest cavity.
No, you haven't. You haven't.
I mean, like, and if you don't understand that listening to this podcast and you don't know anything about basketball, they
No,
look like they're disinterested.
yeah, they do. They do. And the funny thing is,
Jackson's one of the best two-way players in the game.
yeah, especially after the game one defeat where you lose by 50, literally. You think you'd game two, you would go out,
Sure.
guns blazing, or you knock someone on their ass. You would show a frustration foul
Sure.
like that. You
Hit
don't even see
somebody.
that. Yeah, you don't even see that. You
No.
don't see that. But with that being said, obviously the Thunder, this is just a tune-up series for them. We won't really see what they're made of until
Sure.
the next
Sure.
series. So yeah,
Sure.
we'll leave it at there. This series is just a wash, I think, honestly.
Yeah, that series is. I'm really surprised if the Grizz don't do something tonight.
Yeah, unless Memphis has an epiphany, I think it's just going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly.
But it's very different, Uncle Dave, right? Than the Celtics and Magic and the Heat and the Cavaliers. So those teams are showing
Sure.
fight at least. This is just a mess over.
Sure.
And another very interesting series. We'll move on to Uncle Dave is the Rockets and the Warriors. And obviously, this series, I think it depends on what the status of Jimmy Butler is moving forward for the rest of the series. Because I think in order for
Sure.
them to win this series, you need him, I think, to win.
Well, the funny thing is, as we've talked about this, we talked about this in this podcast a lot. We said before the NBA playoffs that no sport
Injury.
is affected more by injury, and we had avoided it until this. And I feel bad because even though I kind of want to see the Rockets, I feel bad because I don't like to see a team not at their best.
Yeah, you want to
And
see him
Jimmy
fully
Butler,
loaded. Yeah, you want to see him
right?
fully loaded.
And I believe if Jimmy Butler plays, I think the Warriors even win last night. So to me, I feel like the Warriors with the extra day off, they don't play till Saturday, so that really worked out in their favor. So Jimmy's tailbone and Jimmy's tough. Plus, the Warriors at home are a really tough environment. I
Oh,
don't
they
think the
are.
Rockets know what they're walking into over there.
Right. Yeah, they can get blitzed in this game three. I kind of
Yeah.
have a vision right there where that could
The
happen.
key stat is off the board, though. 15 on the board, and we knew this was going to happen. But the other thing is, they're both shooting it about the same, which is nice, except from three. The Warriors are 38% from three. The Rockets are shooting 30% from three. But Green showed up last night. Green came out of the closet in like Superman garb the other night. I mean, he was different. He had a great night last night. Green, he was really tough. You got to give him a ton of credit. Sengun is a tough player. He's always bitching on every call, though. He needs to shut the hell up. He ain't there yet, but he should be bitching on every call.
Right.
Jabari Smith does show you some things. Ahmed Thompson shows you some flashes. This team, if they could get a shooter on the perimeter, would be
Yeah, they're
dangerous
scary.
as hell.
Yeah, Jalen Green is just extremely talented too. I mean, just
Yeah,
these
he
guys are
is.
just freaks athletically. These guys.
And again, Kaminga, you can see he's so talented, but there's obviously something deep. There's some deep issue there, obviously, with the Warriors and Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr's knock on him has always been not the development of young players. Trace Jackson Davis never gets off the bench. Patty Spencer played well last night. He brought them back in that first half.
Yeah, he went 5 of 7. He looked really.
Yep, and he can always play. He's one of the smarter players. Gary Payton II has got to get off the floor. Don't tell me this defensive crap. I don't know what him and Podzinski. Does Podzinski have naked photos of Steve Kerr? Buddy Hield's got to be out there. I mean, so does obviously Kaminga. And like I said, if Kaminga's being a dick in practice, by all means, Kevon Looney can help that team. But Spencer's got to play more. But they got to play more lineups. And Trace Jackson Davis can certainly give you some shot blocking out there.
The funny
He
thing
is
is,
an active
yeah,
6'8".
Podzemski, but Uncle Davey, Steve Kerr was saying how he was not feeling well. So I'm like, well, why the hell is he out there then for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And if he's not feeling well, then I just
Steve's got his favorites. I mean, that's
yeah,
the one thing, people always criticize Phil Jackson, but Phil Jackson didn't do that.
no,
Phil Jackson you could do anything to Phil Jackson. He didn't play favorites. And you know what?
right.
He would put guys in the game that he didn't like. He didn't give a shit. Phil Jackson wanted to win the game.
I think also Uncle Dave,
And
this game they would hurt. I think Golden State a little bit. Draymond and Curry, but 11 turnovers between the two of them. So I think they have to cut that down a little
yeah,
bit.
well, when you play, yeah, they play
They
that
have the
fast
ball a
style
lot
of
though.
offense.
They do
But
have the
Steph
ball a lot,
last
though.
night played a really good game.
He did.
He got involved in the assists and the rebounds. That's the game. That's the MVP stats. The Steph seasons where he
Yes,
would get 23 or 24. He'd get 7 and 6. I know
right,
everybody likes this newer Steph. I like that older Steph
right,
who got
right.
everybody some assists too. But I know it's a different role for him now. But I really liked what the Rockets have, and Udoka and Kenny Atkinson are my two favorite coaches in the NBA. So I just really love Udoka. Was a Spurs disciple and played with some tough teammates on some of those championship teams he was on, and you could see they're very physical. And if this team could ever pick up another player, oh my goodness!
Yes.
I mean, she's just one again. They'll just shut up and play. Just come in like this team would fit KD
Hey,
perfectly.
we've been floating Kevin Durant destinations. That's certainly one that's eye
Yeah.
popping. I think if he goes there for sure.
And what's sad? What's sad is I would be floating Booker's too, but you know what? I've lost faith in Booker a
Yeah,
little
there's
bit.
something.
Plus,
I think he has a little. There's something wrong there. I think
yeah,
mentally with the
I
locker
think he's
room.
lost the edge.
Yeah,
And I want to see like a good veteran go here that just wants to win. And I think KD might be at that point right now. And I'm not sure because I don't love him,
right.
but I think he's at that point because folks, he's that good if you just can get him to just play.
I think he's smart enough to. He understands the magnitude of the moment. Now, these are
Yeah.
the last couple of years that he'll have that where he's still a
Yeah.
very in his prime. So he understands. I think that.
Yeah, and the reason I say this, I'm not a big KD fan, but if you get him the ball at the elbow in isolation, it's
Oh,
over. I don't
forget
give
it.
a shit who's
Yeah,
covering.
yeah, it doesn't
So,
matter.
and
Still to this day.
this team needs that walking bucket.
Yes,
They
they
do everything
do.
else. You convince him to rebound for you, get the weak side shot block, which he almost averages 2 a game for his career. He doesn't get enough credit for that. Doesn't play great defense on the ball. I understand that. If you can get him to do that and just come in and play and show these guys that when you need a bucket with about 3 minutes left, get me the ball at the freaking elbow. It's over. Like, just do it.
So
And he has the best pull up in the history of the game. He's 7'2" with his length. There's no way to blocking that.
yeah,
And he's got 2 or 3 good years left in him. Just do it.
he does. Yeah, I think Uncle Dave. The thing to watch out for is if Jimmy Butler. Obviously, I think he'll play in this
Yeah.
game 3, but you don't know what percentage he'll be at. A guy like Moses Moody, I think, or Buddy Hield, you have to have these guys step up here in this game,
Love
especially.
Buddy Hield. I love Moses Moody. Love
Yeah,
both
you
of
have
them.
those guys really. I think have to be and Podzimski. I think the same thing too. You have to have those guys really aggressive. I think if
Yeah.
Jimmy's not 100%. So I think
That's
this
an exciting series. Really
it's a,
looking forward to Saturday.
and you know what? I know he's like an NBA villain here, but I love Dylan Brooks. He just is able to
Oh,
get up
I
the
love
guy's
Dylan
skin,
Brooks.
and he just plays. I know he can kind of be
It's a
theatrical.
poor man's Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, but he's a perimeter version of Draymond and Lambeer, which is funny because
Yep.
that's why they're constantly spitting shit at each other in this series. So this is
Yep.
one that I this
Yep.
is one that I kind of hope just never ends this series too because
Yeah, I know. It'd be great to just watch this at the park.
yeah, forever, right? Exactly. So this will be a fun and exciting series as well. Like I said, I think I could see this one going 6 or 7 easily for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll take it Uncle Dave over to the Lakers and the Timberwolves here.
Yeah, this series is fascinating because what the Lakers decide to do with with Ant-Man is just totally take away him off the pick and roll, the doubling him and making him give it up. And I think the Lakers found something there in game two with that,
Well, he talked about it
making
too in the
him.
press conference, Uncle Dave. When he got
Yep,
the ball, they went to like matchup zone every time, so they kind
yep,
of they're able
yep.
to adjust their defense on the flight of the ball on his
Well,
catch. So I think that's a good Coach Reddick. I think has a good game plan. I think.
sure. And this is why I was even surprised. I said to you on Sunday that I was surprised the Lakers lost game one, only because I just don't believe in the T Wolves shooting. And we talked earlier this year, like our fourth podcast together, about how Edwards was getting different double teams and he was
Yes,
seeking out the counsel of Michael Jordan and
yes,
people
correct.
like that.
Yep,
When I was saying to you that I thought he should have sought the counsel out of Steph Curry because he was getting doubled off the ball screens.
right
And Michael Jordan was getting doubled in the
on the
post because
drive. Yeah, yeah,
they didn't run ball screen offense as much, obviously back in the 80s and 90s. So the thing is, except for the Utah Jazz, of course, but I just really believe that his double teams are different, and they just don't believe in that shooting of, you know, of the T Wolves. And if you look around, besides Edwards, Julius is not going to scare you. Naz Reid is not that kind of player. I mean, what can you say? I mean, who are the shooters on the T Wolves? All right. So DiVincenzo, I believe in. Jaden McDaniels had a great game one, but you're not getting that every night.
yeah.
Luca Garza is not helping you. Mike Conley, I mean, Terrence Shannon Jr. really attacks the rim. But I tell you what, if I'm JJ Redick, I keep doubling that damn thing. I'm making somebody else do it. And like I said, I think that Dante DiVincenzo's that guy. But again, does the coach have him out there? They worried about the matchup on the other end. There's so many cross matchups here. But I really felt like the Lakers found something there, and they got to get Reeves going a little better. They got to get something out of him. I just can't believe that Gabe Vincent never found a role with this team. It's just something that really bothers me. It was such a talented player with the Heat. Then they bring him over to the Lakers, and you don't use him the way the Heat used him. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, why bring him here if you don't use the freaking guy? That pisses me off. When that happens, like, wait a second, you took him off the Heat because he was showing you so much stuff, and then you don't ever really use him the right way. It's like when the Vikings made that trade for Herschel Walker and then ran him out of the wrong set. Drove me freaking crazy. You aren't alive yet.
What I don't understand, Uncle Dave, too, with the Timberwolves is why don't you throw a guy like Joe Ingles out there and see if he has anything for you, Coach?
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know why you don't do that. A guy who's a veteran who has experience who
Oh
can
yeah.
shoot the ball. I just don't understand it. Again,
Yeah, he's
a
not
guy like
missing.
him, I don't know why
Yeah,
you
he's not
throw a guy like
he's
that out there.
yeah, he's not missing too much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's a great set shooter for sure. So I think,
Sure.
Uncle Dave, I think this Timberwolves series, like you said, I think it comes down to the perimeter shooting of McDaniels, Reed, and DiVincenzo. That's really,
Like
I
I
think,
told you, I was shocked they lost game one to Lakers. There's no way
yeah,
I thought that the T Wolves would shoot enough because I know Redick is an intelligent gentleman, not my
right,
favorite Dookie, but I figured that he would make them beat him from the outside, and they did in game one to their credit.
right.
But at the same time, I'll be really shocked if they could do that four more times.
Right, yeah. And I mean, Julius played really well. I mean, other than Ant-Man, he really looked good, Julius Randle. No one else really.
Look at Luca's numbers though: 34, 10, and 5 for the series.
Yeah, yeah.
So again, the Lakers defense is a sieve, so you're nervous about that. But at the same
I
time,
think
this
it comes
is
down to what you said. It's a coin flip, I think. Do the Timberwolves have a hot hand that night or not? Can they hit enough
yeah.
outside shots? If they can, I
I
think
mean,
they'll win. That's what really
yeah,
what it comes down to.
it's funny though, as I sit here and bitch about the 3-point shooting, the Lakers are only shooting 30 from three, which is really shocking. And here's the thing. I always say, like, when I'm looking at a box score as a coach after a game or one of the games I'm in or something else, and I look at the stats are always like
Yeah, they tell the story.
sometimes you win a game and you had everything go your way and you're 1-1. That's when you know you're in trouble.
Right,
And then
exactly.
there's times when you win a game and you're 1-1 in a series and nothing's gone your way yet. So the
Right,
Lakers are shooting
right,
30% from three for the series and it's 1-1.
right. Yeah, if you're a Laker fan in that regard, you're feeling pretty good then at that
Yeah.
point. You're like we
So
can shoot better, right?
yeah, and so the boards are an even match, and that's surprising for the Lakers because they got bitched on the board in the first game. But and the Wolves are much bigger, much younger, more athletic. But at the same time, this series is had taken a life of its own in each game. This is going to be fascinating.
I
Really
think the
fun to
Lakers,
watch.
what they're doing, and I will credit LeBron on this, Doncic having the ball more is a benefit. I think you have to run the offense through him. I think, and I
Absolutely.
will say
Why
this
not get LeBron off a curl
yeah,
like we've been
exactly,
talking about for 40
exactly.
years?
Yeah, so I think they're playing the right way. I think they're playing the way they have to win. I think the Lakers. So
Sure.
and Luca, I will say this: he's just so unbelievable. He gets you on his hip. He's just great with finishing with both hands. He
So
can
strong.
pivot foot. That's the thing. He's underrated strong. I mean, and the thing is, he's a legit 6'8". So he's a
He's
fucking
thick
big
too.
guy.
He's
Yeah,
very thick, very
yeah.
strong.
he's a thick, big guy, so he gets you on his hip. He's able to finish at the rim. So,
You know
uh,
what benefited him too? Playing in Europe as a young player. Like
yeah,
playing in
yeah.
Europe would be so much better than going to college for our kids over here.
The
He played
Olympics,
with
Uncle
older
Dave.
guys.
He's playing Russell Westbrook at 16 years old. That has to do something for you. And that's
Yeah,
flat
yeah,
out
and
right there.
he's playing older guys. And
Yes,
older guys, I hate to say this as a generalization, but they know how to play.
yes.
And so because they don't move the same way anymore. And so he's a guy that was banging around with men at 16, like you said. And I think that makes a big difference. Our kids go to college and the game is great. I love college basketball more than anything in life, but at the same time, like he learns some hard lessons over there, and you can see that kid like Wembanyama benefited from it. They're all
Oh
of them.
yeah.
The
No,
European players,
those European players, I think, getting exposed, like you said, to playing older men at a young age. I
yeah,
think they
and they
by the
teach
time
them
they get in the
fundamentals.
yep, exactly. By the time they get
And
to the NBA, they're more seasoned than you think.
and the next series is the one that I have no fucking idea what I'm gonna do. I
Yeah.
mean, this series is pissing me off because I'm so mad at the Nuggets GM because they shouldn't be able to hang with the Clips, but yet they are. Which
Yeah.
means if you got this guy any help at all,
No, you
any help at
exactly,
all,
exactly. It's frustrating, isn't it? At the
it's
same
so
time. Yeah.
frustrating. And
Yeah.
then the Clips, like, freaking stud boy Kawhi the other night was amazing.
Oh
But
my
then
God. He played maybe
in
the perfect game, right?
yeah, in game one, he just 7 turnovers. Like, what were you doing? Like the
Oh,
first half in game one, he's
yeah,
ripping
he
it
was
up.
incredible. He was incredible,
All of
right?
a sudden,
Second
he
half,
goes to sleep for like 30 minutes.
yeah, yeah.
Like what the hell is going on? The surprising stat of the series to me, though, is the Nugs are out rebounding him by 9 a game. I don't know how that is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, like both teams with too many turnovers. The Clips are shooting better. They're both pretty good from three. And the free throw line, the Clips are 78%, the Nugs are 71%. So there's some bizarre stats in this series, some bizarre stats that you wouldn't believe. And the series is 1-1, but I still don't see if the Clips stay healthy and just don't beat themselves. I
Yeah,
still don't see
they're the
how,
better team, yeah.
yeah, I don't see how they don't win. But here I am. I can say that all I want. It's 1-1.
No, it's true.
So
And if you're the
obviously,
Nuggets, Uncle Dave, you're like, hey, we should honestly have maybe
yeah,
game one as well. So this should have been
yeah,
2-0 heading back to LA. And it took,
yeah,
let's be honest, and we won this game still.
yeah.
And Kawhi played unbelievable. So I mean, there's no way we should be up 2-0. I mean, he doesn't play a perfect game. We have this game as well.
Well, the funny thing is, Howell's been so bad. And here
Yes, he
you are.
has.
Here you are. You're 1-1. He's been awful.
Yeah.
I mean, he has been terrible. I mean,
No.
he's just not been good at all. But the good thing is the Clips are so damn deep. I mean, Jesus Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ben
Bogdanovich
Simmons gives you a couple of good minutes. Chris
oh my
Dunn has
God,
been
yeah.
good.
And Batum.
Batum is still good. I mean,
Yeah.
good God, they're so freaking deep. Derek Jones Jr., Bogey does some good stuff.
Plus, what you
Um,
haven't seen, you could throw a guy like Patty Mills out there, Uncle Dave, and he could maybe be a game changer for you
absolutely.
for the Clippers.
And
So,
and I know everybody's gonna say I'm crazy when they hear this. I still don't understand how a DeAndre Jordan doesn't give you a couple of minutes off the bench. He's a
yes,
shot blocker.
I
I
know,
don't care
I
if he
know.
sucks anymore. You
Right?
can't tell me he can't catch a lob.
He's still
You,
7 foot, Uncle Dave, and a big
yeah,
man. So,
you can't tell me he can't
yeah,
catch a lob. You know he knows how to play.
right. He's a
Let
smart guy.
him
Yeah.
spell some Joker minutes.
Yes, exactly.
Let him spell some Joker
Give
minutes.
me
Let him
eight,
do
nine
it.
minutes. Give me 8, 9 minutes. Yep.
Yeah, and tell Perry Watson, listen, bro, give me 5 minutes a night. Just give me something.
Yeah.
But like DeAndre Jordan, like I don't understand these guys who don't put guys out there ever. Like to me, like, all right, I know his best years are behind him, but he's not even old.
Yeah, I was also Uncle Dave so happy for Russell Westbrook. He had some big shots in this game, so I mean his
Sure.
confidence. I'm sure that'll help. But it came down to I think Jokic. He had a few too many turnovers. He didn't play his best game, and it's funny you say he didn't play
No.
his best game, and he's still at 20. He still had a triple double, 26, 11, and 10. So
Yeah,
that
it's
just
been
goes to
but
show
this
you.
has been the closest series of them all.
Yes, it
Two
has.
great games,
That
an overtime game and a 3-point
this
game.
is a series again.
This is this
This
yeah,
is much like the Timberwolves and the Lakers, and a lot like the Pistons and the Knicks. This could go 7 as well. This one.
sure. And this is the the 4-5, so I guess it makes sense. But here we are tonight. We got Knicks, Pistons, we got Thunder and Grizzlies, which I think is a yawn fest. And I'm going to save my energy for that damn,
Nuggets and
Clips
Clippers
and
game.
Nuggets
Yeah.
series. See if I can get a nap in before then, so I can stay up.
Right. Yeah.
But I tell you what, yeah, it's just so much fun every night. And then we got these three gems tonight. This Knicks Piston thing. I tell you what, I just don't have a good feeling about the Knicks. I didn't have it before the series. It's just they're not. If you're not going to throw the ball to Cat, and we talked about this, this is the series for Cat to go off, and we're not involving him. Now
No.
we don't know. That could be his fault, or that could be the staff's fault. I'm not in the room. We're not in the room. But there's no way they can cover Cat. Duran cannot cover him, and neither can Tobias. So
Well,
what are we waiting for?
I just have to bring up too in this Nuggets and Rockets game, that in that game too, the missed dunk by Aaron Gordon, Uncle Dave. He had the wide open dunk and
Oh,
it flew in, and you lose this game by 3. You don't know how that changes that game
that
if
changes
you
everything.
hurt that. Yeah, you have to be wondering to yourself. You have that miss at the point blank range, and then also to boot, you missed 8 foul shots. So I mean, again, we're talking about should have, could have. Nuggets should have had that game too.
This has been just a blast so far. But like I said, there's a couple of series that are non-competitive, very disappointing.
Yes.
Like I said, Memphis needs a transplant. Very sad. The Bucks, I just don't think they've hit their stride yet. I think some guys have gotten old quick. But the Pistons series is going to be great. The Celtics just have too much. The Cavs have too much.
It's a good smorgasbord here of games, like you said. You've even this, like a couple of these series here, these with the Celtics and the Magic, and what was the other one? And the Heat and the Cavaliers. They're still entertaining games, even though we kind of know what's going to happen with the conclusion of those series. They're still fun to watch. Like you said,
So much fun. It's
it
such a
is.
great time. Yeah, and I will say though that I thought the Knicks Pistons game they let too much go.
Yes,
I like
bodies were
contact.
just flying around all over the
Yeah,
place. It was
I
crazy.
mean there's guys going to the rack like missing an arm,
I think it was
like it was
Iron
like a
Eagle
Monty
on the
Python
call.
movie or
He
something.
was like
I don't know, like it's
Iron
like a
Eagle was
scene of
on the
Monty
call.
Python when the
Yeah,
guy gets his arm cut off and they're not calling it.
Iron Eagle was calling the game. He's like, this looks like an 80s, 90s game here. It was
Oh my God! But I
it
tell you
was
what,
incredible. It was cool to
it's
watch though.
they were letting it really go, and I was like, some of them it's dangerous. I don't like when it gets dangerous. But at the same time, I'm very grateful that we only have this one injury so far. Very excited because the last couple of years doing this,
And the Jimmy
uh,
Butler one, it's not even a muscle tear. It's just a freak thing where he lands
exactly, we
back.
have had so many crappy injuries the last couple of years that have
Yeah, we
ruined.
have.
Like the Knicks last year were a mash unit. So
They hobbled to
disappointing
the
the
finish
last
line
couple of
last
years.
year, the Knicks in the
Dame
playoffs.
Lillard was hurt.
Yeah.
Giannis was hurt last year.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Obviously, Kawhi's been hurt for a while. It's just so frustrating when the guys are
Yeah,
hurt.
it kills
Uh,
the series and the feel of the playoffs when that happens.
because right now that Clips Nuggets series, I just shocked. I just don't know how
Yeah,
the
we have
Nugs
no
are
idea
doing it.
what's going to go on with that one, right? That could be
I
anything.
just don't know how that. I mean, I'm thinking about this going. If the Clips just come out and was wear them out, there's no way. But they got the best player in the world,
Yeah, I
and
think the thing is
you never know
the
when Harden has
Clippers,
a brain fart.
you have the two best perimeter players, I think, in the series. I think that just you could just wear
Yeah,
them down. I think, and especially Kawhi and James Harden, they're tough covers. They're just very physical too. So guy like Jamal Murray,
yes,
you have to have him play up to par with those guys in order for. And then the
and he's streaky.
the coin flips are Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter. I mean, do those guys, do they give you?
Michael Porter 1 for 4 in game one.
Yeah,
I
do
mean,
they
what
give you?
the hell?
Yeah, exactly. Those guys have to give you, I think, in the teens. They have to give you somewhere between 13 and 19. Both those guys, at least. You can't have
And he's got to help you on the board. He's 6'10".
exactly. You can't have guys that give you 8 points there with Gordon and
How you have 8 points and like 2 rebounds at 6'10"?
what I loved
You
is
jump
game
like Michael
in
Porter.
game 2, he had a rebound and a putback there where he was physical in the paint. I'm like, you need more of that. You're too tall, man, to be floating around there on the perimeter. You need to get your
But
ass up.
he's that guy we've talked about. He's that guy we've talked about that falls in love with something that some part of his game and eliminates the other part to his detriment. So like Dan Marley came in the league, very physical player, but he wasn't a great 3-point shooter. Then he became a great 3-point shooter. He lost his physicality,
Yeah,
hurt his
exactly.
game.
Yeah.
Then here's this guy doing the same thing. All right, so here's a guy that was a really good shooter, but he's a great athlete. And all of a sudden, he hit so many threes for them because he was so open with Joker, and he had guys like KCP and Murray get downhill. But right now, they need a little more from him. He can't just be a spot up shooter at
That's the
6'10" with that
thing.
athleticism.
Exactly. You have to have a guy who can rip through and also get a foul and then one. You need some of that, I think, for him too. Especially if the three ball ain't going, you need to be able to do something else and have another play to go to, I think. So another
Yeah,
card to deal.
it's just so frustrating because you see this all the time with guys. They come in, they take the easy part of their game, and all
Yeah,
of a sudden
exactly.
they lose that other part of their game that made them attractive also. And you see it all too often. It's frustrating as hell. By the way, the statistic will come up soon when the NBA Finals come about the triple. If LeBron, as long as LeBron's playing, they'll have the triple double in the playoff stat that comes up there. And I just want to point out again that the all-time leader in triple doubles in the playoffs is Magic Johnson, and he played half the games that LeBron has played. So I just want to throw that out there again for all you people that just talk about Mike and LeBron in the greatest of all time discussion. Just want to throw that out there again. So we got Kareem in that discussion. We got Wilt, and we got 32 in purple and golden. So I just like to throw that out there again. It's this time of year, and I love that stat comes up there, and I just go, is anybody going to ask out loud on the broadcast? Didn't he play half the games these guys have played? Yeah, he did. You
Yeah.
can look it up if you want. So like, it just drives me crazy, but it's that time of year again. That stat will come up, and it's also, I think May 13th is the Magic Johnson 42, 15, and 7 anniversary as a 19-year-old rookie. I think we have that game coming up where he played center against Caldwell Jones and Darryl Dawkins. So 42,
all,
15, and 7.
that's
So
all
that
time.
anniversary is coming up too. We just had the Leighton anniversary in March. We like to celebrate these anniversaries here at Nephew and Uncle Basketball Banter. I have these anniversaries we have to celebrate, and that is indeed one worth celebrating.
Yes, and we'll end the show on this, Uncle Dave, about this list about the most overrated players in the NBA. And
Ooh, that came out?
number one, yes, and number one was
Now,
Tyrese.
who voted on this?
It's
Who voted on this?
So it's 90 unanimous players. We don't know who vote. So it's players in the NBA, but unanimously though that they voted on this.
Oh, so all the players got a vote, or some players?
Only some. I think it was 90 players got it. So
Oh, they should ask every player. That'd be cool.
yeah. So
What'd they say?
I'll read it out. So number one was Tyrese Halliburton at 14%. Number two was
Oh,
Rudy.
no way. He is not overrated. Oh
Yeah,
my God, he's not overrated.
and they asked Rick Carlisle got asked about this, and he basically said it's absolutely an insane list because Jimmy Butler and Giannis Antetokounmpo are on the list as well. So
No way. Giannis is not overrated.
right, exactly. So Rick Carlisle's call, I'll read it out here. He says, I saw that list. I also saw that Jimmy Butler and Giannis were on that list. I want to see the faces of those guys. That is a bullshit poll. The whole thing is bullshit. And he just walked out of the press conference.
You know what's funny? There's a lot of jealousy in that poll all the time because in baseball, guys used to say Derek Jeter. Now that was jealousy because you saw Derek Jeter every day, and I can't stand Derek Jeter.
Right.
But here in New York, you saw him every day. He was great. He wasn't overrated.
And
Derek
then
Jeter was a freaking Derek Jeter was a smart ball player.
I'll read out the other guys on the list. So third Uncle Dave is Trae Young at 8%.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think he is a little overrated, I would say as well.
He is. He has not changed his game. He shot 41%. Even though his assist numbers were great, he doesn't play defense. I think him and John Moran are really overrated. I do.
Yeah, and I think again, kind of like a Devin Booker, there's just something weird with the locker room with that guy. I don't know.
Oh, Bradley Beal. I mean, Jesus Christ, is Bradley Beal on that list?
Yes. Well, Jimmy Butler's 5%, and
bullshit.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. And then at 4% is Bradley Beal. I think at this given time in this stage of his career, he definitely, I'm sure, is.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely not what he's being. He's not valued what he's being paid. Certainly. After that is Draymond Green at 4.4%.
No, that's wrong. Draymond does so much.
No, I don't think he's overrated either. I don't think he is either. I think he does.
He's a pain in the ass.
Exactly. He does what he has needed to do for that team all these years. So I think he
calls the defense. He's the only player in the NBA that calls the defenses for his team.
I think exactly. I think if you would ask Steph or Clay, guys that won championships, and they would absolutely disagree with that.
Completely. Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, he has been. Again, he does what they need him to do. He's an all-star in his role. Yeah. Then after him is John Morant at another.
Yeah, I agree.
4%.
I agree.
I would agree. I would agree with that as well. I think
Zion Williamson should be on there too.
Yeah. Beneath him is Julius Randle.
Randle. I disagree. Totally disagree. I think he's a most misunderstood player.
Yeah. And then below
in the
him,
NBA.
Joel Embiid at 3.3.
Yeah, well, he never plays. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I think he's missed so many games, like you said.
It's such a sad thing.
Yeah. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo, 2.2%.
No, absolutely not.
Dylan Brooks at 2.2. I think I don't think he's overrated. I think this is just a popularity contest. I think by putting him in there,
a lot of jealousy in these polls. We know that.
Right now, at this point in his career, I would say if you still think he's a great or good player, Paul George at 2.2. At this point, he's hurt
a lot too.
Yeah, and then beneath him is Tyler Hero.
Yeah, Tyler. No way. Tyler's not overrated. Oh my God, these guys are assholes. Tyler Hero. Look what he's doing.
Yeah, so it's 90 votes cast, random players. We don't know. So that's the list right here, folks.
We gotta do this. Well, I guess you have to take into consideration as I'm walking to my battery charger. I think we have to take into consideration also, what happens with what stage of their career. So Joel Embiid doesn't play.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard for years has not played a lot. So maybe we could say him. You know?
That's the thing. If you're giving me Indiana Paul George, he's not overrated. If you're judging, I mean, but here's the thing, though. If you're a knowledgeable basketball fan, no one's saying Paul George is still a really good player at this point in his career.
Right.
I think that'd be insane to
Right.
say that. Joel Embiid, again, when he plays, he's excellent, Joel Embiid. I mean, he does have some
Oh yeah.
clunkers in there, but I mean, he's an excellent player. There's no
No,
doubt.
he's so talented. He's one of the most talented big guys you'll ever see in your life. But it's just so sad. But the part that pisses me off, the only reason I have a hard time rooting for him is because they were trying to compare him to Shaq. I
Yeah.
was like, Jesus, Shaq would have killed this fucking guy.
Yeah.
I mean, no, excuse my French.
He's an excellent player, but he's not even Jokic. He's not
Yeah,
that guy.
yeah. I mean, so to me, like, you know, overrated. Zion is heavily overrated.
Yes, I would
I
have had
mean,
him on the list for sure.
I don't care. I mean, like, if I'm playing you, I'll put three guys around you in the paint.
And
I'll
again,
never
Zion, when he plays, is special and he's really good,
absolutely.
but you don't play,
So,
though.
so it's like I said. So we have to do it if we're going to do a poll
We
like
should
that
have our own
ourselves.
list. We should make our own lists. I agree.
Yeah, but what we have to do is we have to establish how do we include the guys who don't play, or we talk about guys who play 65 games or over.
No, I would say you have to have the guys in there that are hyped, like they're this all-star player that's playing all the time, but they don't play. Like you said, Zion Williamson, I think, is a perfect candidate for overrated. You have to be on the court. Best ability is availability.
Yeah,
So
so if we want to do that, we could have the old not on the court team. We have Kawhi Leonard, we got Zion Williamson, we got fucking
Joel Embiid
Embiid.
is on there. We have a great
Oh
team.
yeah. I mean, we got some great players out there. Like, Jesus, Paul George. I mean, what a great team
Yeah,
that is.
it is. It's an excellent.
It's a Hall of Fame team right there. We could win the title with that crew.
It's,
But
problem
I
is you
think
might have a night where you don't have anybody suiting up.
who's starting to creep in there, and I've always thought this guy never is, and I'm a big fan. I feel like Brandon Ingram's creeping into that level now. I just keep waiting for him to like.
Yeah, come on the scene, right? And it kind of
I mean,
explode. Yeah.
I know he's had some big games, but he's starting to sit out a lot too. He's pissing me off. Like I love Brandon Ingram. I think that
I think there's
I
not
just
enough. There's not enough piss and vinegar with him. He's too even keel, I think, for my liking.
yeah, and look at a guy like Marvin Bagley. This guy was one of the best players on the freaking planet when he was in college.
Two
On the
former good
college, he
guys.
just has done nothing.
Yeah,
And Jay Billis called it right. He called him out when he was a freshman about how his effort wasn't great. And Jay Billis got a lot of crap for that. But I'm telling you right now, Jay Billis is right.
yeah, yeah. I would say.
Marvin Bagley is not doing anything anymore.
You know what, Brandon Ingram? He looking at his numbers. I mean, what is it here? The last 6 seasons, he's averaged over 20 points. So I mean, he's definitely having really, really good
Well,
seasons.
how many games is he playing? He's pissing me off.
Yeah, so this last year he played only 18. The year before that, 64,
Come
45,
on.
55, 61. Yeah, he's not played in 70 games in any of those seasons, so that's a problem. Yeah, he's missed too much
Ah,
time.
shit.
Yeah, he's missed way too much time for sure.
Ah, Jesus Christ. How can you
So
say
he
Halliburton's overrated?
he could qualify in there than Brandon Ingram. Yeah, I don't think Halliburton's overrated. Yeah.
I mean, I don't like him, but you know what it is though? He does talk a lot of shit, so maybe the guys hate him.
Yeah, that's
But
that's the reason why. Yeah, that's the reason
but
why.
he is really the engine that makes that team. Now I know what they're thinking. Well, O'Connell comes in and does a great job too. But now that Therese can really shoot it, he's a guy he's just hitting his stride right about now. The next 2 or 3 years with him, you better
Yeah.
look out. You
Yeah.
better look out.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see what happens with him too.
Rick Carlisle, he's not stupid. He ain't going anywhere.
No. He certainly have. I think you have a potential stud in him right there, no
You
question.
do. You got a guy who's all right. He's not the defender that Jason Kidd is, and Carlisle coached him, but you could see that this guy has a motor in him. And I'm telling you, his next 2 or 3 years, he's going to be something special. He already is something special.
How funny the Kings started out with Tyrese Halliburton. Now the Pacers,
Oh,
they're reaping that benefit.
so many teams give away a guy before he's any
I
good.
know.
Like,
I
the
know.
Falcons gave away Brett Favre.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you're kicking yourself forever as they go on a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we'll wrap it up there. All you basketball fans out there, live long and prosper.
Enjoy these games tonight.
With you. Yes, folks, have a fun time. Take care. Be good.